One more question, and then we'll give you a minute to sum up, gentlemen. Last question goes to Jared first. What are some of your ideas to help facilitate a more trusting relationship with the youth in our community? What are some of your ideas to help us facilitate a more trusting relationship with the youth in our county?
Well, it goes back to getting out of your patrol car and talking again. I'm a youth hockey coach. I'm a youth ATV instructor, firearms instructor, snowmobile instructor. I've served the youth of this community my entire life here. But it's that getting out and talking to kids. That's all it takes. It's no different. The Stop and Talk program isn't just to get out and talk to adults. When you're driving by the grade school, there's kids playing basketball. Get out and talk to them. If you see a local hockey game going on outside, stop in and say hi. Stop by the high school. Stop by the grade school. Have lunch with the kids. That's what it's all about, is getting out there and talking to them. That's how those relationships get formed, and it's got to start somewhere. If the adults in this county don't know who our deputies are, do you think our children do? No, they do not. And that's sad. We have school resource officers. That's a great position. Those kids know that particular deputy in their school. Okay? We need all our deputies to get involved with our kids here. I would strongly encourage, just like I do with my officers, that all of our officers become involved with some sort of youth activity in the community, whether it be an ATV instructor, firearm instructor, snowmobile instructor, whatever their passion is. Coach a youth sport. Get out and talk to people. Get out and deal with these kids. That trust and communication starts at a young age, and once you have that, that relationship builds for the rest of that child's life. They see police officers not as a negative, but as a positive and a role model in their life. So those are some of the strategies that I would bring to the table.
Thank you. Jeff, what are some of your ideas to help facilitate a more trusting relationship with the youth in our county?
Well, like we talked about all night, communication is key. If we don't communicate, we fail. I think it's huge that we are able to have the school resource officers in positions to develop those relationships, to let the young kids know that a badge and a uniform shirt shouldn't be scary. All too often, the kids of our communities have negative contact with law enforcement officers, whether it's because there's a domestic situation and the officers get involved, and all of a sudden we become the bad guys. We become the enemies. And we need to turn that around and let them know that a badge and a uniform shirt is a good thing. We need to encourage our officers to talk to those kids outside of work. We need to encourage those officers to talk to the kids at their level, not treat them like they're not important. Be able to interact with them in a positive manner. I would encourage our officers within the sheriff's office to get involved in the different outreaches that there are available, whether it be Treehouse North that's just trying to get established, whether it be a church youth group if that's where they want to be, whether it be the training positions like Jared mentioned. All of those are hugely important to make that one-on-one connection with a kid. The kids are our future. They're our future leaders. Unfortunately, too often they're Jared and my future clients. We need to break that cycle that's in place and establish a good relationship with those kids and identify those kids that need help and get them sent to the proper agencies that can do that. Getting our officers involved with the youth goes back to one of our questions that we discussed earlier, and that's officer retention. If we encourage our officers to be involved in the community, they're naturally going to be inclined to stay in the community. They're going to develop those relationships with the kids that are going to last their career here. I've been here 22 years. I still deal with families that I dealt with when I was getting trained in here. Some of those are positive. They know me from the different areas that I've been involved in their lives. They respect me because of that. They're more willing to communicate and give us good information that we can use to help solve crimes or to point them in a good direction. And now I'm dealing with the second and third generations in some of those families. And my time is up.
Thank you. 1 minute to sum up and close. Jeff, we'll start with you. Kind of for 1 minute, please.
Again, I want to thank everyone for showing up. I want to thank everyone for their interest, for their involvement. Most of all, I really need to thank my wife tonight for putting up with this summer that was invested in running for the sheriff's position. She gave up a lot. She did a huge amount to support me, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that tonight. Thank you. People have asked me why I want to run for sheriff, and it comes down to the fact that I care. I care what happens in Pine County. I care about the sheriff's office. I want to see us move forward in a positive direction. I've invested my 22-year career here. The county has invested in me for 22 years, and I need to move on to the next level and move our sheriff's office in a positive step forward. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening tonight, and we do appreciate your willingness to get informed. Thank you.
Sure.
I have worked outside of Pine County. I've not spent my entire law enforcement career here. I've seen what works, and I've seen what hasn't worked so well. Pine County has hardworking, dedicated employees that work there. They need a strong leader to bring in a new vision, to bring in new programs, to bring in new technology. And to answer your question earlier, Jeff, your current computer system costs the county about 30 grand a year. LETG costs like 16, so we could actually save a little money in the budget. Back to my points here. There is a way that it can be done better. I have the energy, I have the knowledge, and I possess the leadership skills to get it done here in Pine County. It can be done better. Bottom line, I did not sit here for 22 years and think about what should be done. From the day I started working for Pine County, I knew it could be done better. I voiced my concerns back then. I've wanted this job for a long time. I've known it can be done better. I've proven it can be done better. I would truly appreciate your support on November 4th to be your next sheriff of Pine County.
Let's thank our guests.